Welcome to MTN Outdoors.
Welcome to MTN Outdoors. I'm Tom Buchanan, and I'll be your guide on this week's program. I'm up here at Great Divide trying to catch a few runs. But as most Montanans know, this winter has started off pretty slowly. But as MTN's Ali Kaiser found out, that might just be the ticket for those trying to cast a few lines.
Outside of one big snow, we've had some pretty mild fall weather, making for limited time for traditional winter activities like snowshoeing, snowboarding, and sledding. But local anglers say one fall activity is still pretty hot: fly fishing.
In the wintertime, there are far fewer people on the river. There are endless opportunities because of the availability of water, because of the fewer people on the water. The winter fishing is very good. Very good.
Since fish are cold-blooded, their body temperature drops in the winter, slowing their metabolism, making them eat less and become more lethargic. But as people, we like to be warm, so Stein says dressing appropriately makes for a more successful outing.
We're going to wear waders to stay dry, but underneath the waders, we're going to layer up. On top, we're going to layer up.
Other gear Stein recommends is hand warmers, heated boots, and snow cleats. While you may have your sights on catching a lunker, Stein says fishing is more than catching fish.
The adventure of going and seeking out new places. Fish are the bonus. You're going to see mountains and places that you wouldn't normally go to if you weren't seeking out fish.
Stein recommends catching and releasing your fishing. In Helena, Ali Kaiser, MTN News.
For many years, Lions Family Park here in Laurel has been a beautiful place for people to come and enjoy the outdoors. But when they visit the park now, they'll be met with a little bit of a surprise, as these signs from FWP are warning of a bird flu outbreak that happened here.
You don't know what's in the air.
It's that time of year when the weather starts getting colder and sickness is easily spread. But it isn't just people getting sick. Bird flu is ramping up, just like it typically does during migration season.
I think people should be concerned always when there's a public issue like this.
That flu has made its way into Yellowstone County. On Friday, Fish, Wildlife, and Parks confirmed 9 dead Canada geese found at Lions Family Park in Laurel over the past few weeks were in fact killed by the flu.
We will probably stay away from the pond now that we know. We didn't know.
As of right now, it's not a huge public health concern.
Chrissy Webb with FWP says it isn't time to panic, even though pets can contract the virus.
People let their cats run around. Cats come down here, see a dead bird, pick the dead bird up, take it home.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There are a few cases of those domestic cat and dogs where those animals did pass away from this. And again, it hasn't been in Montana, and the number of those cases has been pretty few, but making sure you take a few precautions to protect yourself and your pet is really important this time of year.
Humans can also contact bird flu, but cases are rare. Only 11 have been reported globally since December of 2021, with infections ranging from no symptoms to death. But that's why Webb and her department are pushing for prevention and awareness, hanging these signs around the park in Laurel and reminding people not to get too close.
We've seen it in some other species, but it's still relatively rare at this point, so it's not, we don't have to tell people to not go to these places that they enjoy, but just to take precautions when they are at these places.
In Laurel, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
I'm a few miles north of Choteau off of Highway 89 at the Teton River, and what looks like a quiet river now has a destructive past. A 1964 flood has Choteau city officials concerned over FEMA's future flood insurance redistricting maps. At the City of Choteau's late November City Council meeting, Mayor Chris Hindoin presented a letter from FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, addressing residents in the community.
The floodway has expanded significantly inside the city limits. And as such, that threatens the economic stature of our community.
The floodway refers to flood insurance rate maps that FEMA issues to determine insurance rates in municipalities. The current map, released in 1984, seen here, has a floodway covering a small portion of the east side of town. A new version, which will be implemented in 2026, shows expanded borders of the floodway, a 500-year floodplain and a 100-year floodplain.
What caught us off guard was the new data and what the potential damage or devastation it could do to our taxable value from some of our homes in our community. along with some of the businesses in our community.
The new map adds an additional 377 structures into the new 100-year floodplain and 81 new homes into the floodway.
Those that are inside the floodway will most definitely have to have flood insurance. Figure if it's a $2,000 annual premium, that's another $200 on your mortgage.
The city has until December 6th to issue a response to FEMA, and Congressman Matt Rosendale has worked on the issue for a number of years. It's a problem seen in numerous cities across the country and in Montana.
And I believe that it's an effort by the National Flood Insurance Program to get more people involved paying premiums into the National Flood Insurance Program because they have been running at a deficit for so long.
Rosendale says proper notification to the homeowner is crucial if homes are redistricted in the floodway. Homeowners would have to hire a private survey crew to become exempt from mandatory flood insurance coverage, control at the federal level, and a solution at the table inside this Shoto watering hole.
If Fairfield was flooded, you wouldn't see Shoto.
Longtime resident Gerald Torgerson reminisces on the flood of 1964.
We kind of had a snowstorm, ice storm before all this started.
Torgerson, a former electric company employee, recalls 13 inches of precipitation, leading to the Teton River jumping Highway 89 a few miles north of town, creating an influx of water in Spring Creek that runs through the heart of Shoto.
It looked impossible.
Torgerson was tasked to provide power to inundated areas.
I couldn't believe the stuff that was rolling underneath that water.
Across the table, former Teton County Sheriff John L. Howard, one of many affected by the new maps.
So let's go clean that plug out and open the original pathway for the water and do something to keep the water from bridging up here. But it sounds like they're just going to lay back on their duff and let it happen.
After my conversation with the gentleman who lived through the '64 flood, they told me a story about the old Pioneer Bar, which is no longer around. They told me that the water was so high that the Pioneer opened their front and back doors to let the water flow through, and the men in the bar, well, they sat up here like me, and they put their feet on the stools to stay dry.
Fix it. It's a real simple deal. But by God, the government's going to play with it until we have a major problem that they've created.
What's common sense to the locals and mitigation pushed by science from Senator John Tester, issuing in a statement, and quote, "Preventing flood damage starts with proper mitigation, which is why I worked hard to secure targeted resources for Montana in my bipartisan infrastructure law. But it's also critically important that agencies like FEMA use the best possible science and engage with the public when drafting new flood maps. I encourage folks in Shoto and Teton County to continue taking advantage of FEMA's public comment period to make sure that the agency gets these maps done right."
I'm afraid that if we fail to respond during this time period, it could be viewed by FEMA and the entities above as tacit support for what they're doing, and I don't want that.
In Shoto, Ryan Gamboa, MTN News.
Unfortunately, changes in our environment are not only affecting a river in Shoto. As MTN's Geneva Zoltek found out, glaciers in Montana are changing and melting due to climate change. That and more coming up.
We now return to MTN Outdoors.
Who doesn't love snow? I mean, sure, it does make it a little chillier, but without snow, you couldn't go skiing. You couldn't have snowball fights, and you couldn't make a snowman. But unfortunately, climate change is making it harder for that snow to maintain and even grow glaciers here in Montana.
52 named glaciers and even more without formal names have disappeared in the western U.S. That's according to new research coming out of Portland State University. So why are these ancient giants disappearing? Well, it really comes down to warming temperatures.
Overall, the trend is not changing precipitation as much as it is changing air temperatures, warming air temperatures. And that's what we're seeing reflected in the glacier shrinkage. And they're the tangible evidence of this climate change.
Fountain's been researching glaciers since 1980. His recent work refreshes an outdated inventory.
And the reason why we did the project was that the glacier maps really haven't been updated since mid-century. mid-20th century. And for Montana, what that means is the 1960s.
That research revealed 6 named glaciers have been lost in Montana. The Boulder Glacier, Blackwell Fisher, and Gray Wolf glaciers in the Missions, one called Grasshopper in the Crazies, and another Grasshopper in the Beartooths near Yellowstone. And dozens more without names have been lost, according to Fountain.
Overall, 75 glaciers in Montana have gone. And what I mean by disappeared is either they've entirely vanished, or they've turned into a snow patch, or else it dropped below our area threshold. Our minimum area for identifying glaciers is 1 football field next to 1 football field.
Glaciers change shape year to year, but with warming trends, they are melting faster than they're being replenished by annual snowfall.
As winter temperatures warm, even though we might have the same amount of precipitation, more of it falls as rain than snow than it did, 40 years ago. So the glaciers get less replenished in the winter, and then they get melted more in the summer, and it's kind of a double whammy.
Glaciers are imperative for high alpine ecosystems. So what are the consequences if they melt?
They're not there to do that anymore. So those alpine regions are increasingly susceptible to drought.
Temperatures are anticipated to continue warming in the decades to come, putting even more pressure on Montana's remaining glaciers. In Helena, Geneva Zoltek, MTN News.
The young people in the Held case filed a brief this week, and it may have an impact outside of Montana. We had a chance to talk with a Laurel resident and also with an attorney with expertise in climate change law, and both are encouraged by this week's filing. Construction continues at the new natural gas plant for now, but a group of 16 youth environmentalists who won a case against the state of Montana this past August are hoping to change that. The brief filed in the Montana Supreme Court supports an environmental group's lawsuit, which says the DEQ did not do its job and an air quality permit is void and should be vacated for the Northwestern Energy facility.
It will pollute the air not just in Laurel, but all the way down the valley.
Priscilla Bell lives close to the plant and has opposed it for years.
I thought we'd won all these battles. Clean air, clean water, care of the land. And here we are, many decades later, still fighting the same battles.
A Northwestern spokesperson provided this quote: Northwestern Energy does not agree with the substantive positions taken by the 16 youths who are plaintiffs in Held v. State of Montana. However, we did not oppose their motion to file this amicus brief. Construction was stopped earlier this year by a Yellowstone County judge, but then the Montana legislature passed a law stating agencies could not consider greenhouse gas emissions in permitting decisions, allowing building to resume. The youth activists believe their win in August supersedes it.
It's one of the strongest climate decisions we've seen.
Columbia Law School professor Michael Gerard is the faculty director of the school's Sabin Center for Climate Change Law. He is already using the case in his curriculum.
The Held decision has been assigned already in several law schools around the country.
The professor says it may have an effect outside Montana, with Hawaii, Pennsylvania, and New York having similar constitutions.
The Montana decision is also inspiring a greater movement to try to have similar amendments adopted in some other states.
We need to make this bigger than Montana. This is not just a Laurel event. This is Montana, the United States of America, the globe.
For now, Northwestern expects the plant to be operational next summer. In Billings, David J., MTN News.
Coming up after the break, we've got the ways in which Montana's outdoor recreation scene is changing, including increased access for those with disabilities and updates for block management.
We now return to MTN Outdoors.
It's no revelation that Montanans love to get outside. And according to this report by the Montana Department of Labor and Industry, outdoor recreation generated $2.5 billion of annual GDP in Montana in 2021, right behind Hawaii, who claimed 4.8%. And these ways of exploring and recreating are constantly changing, as these next few stories show.
By road or air, there are several ways to check out our national parks.
At Yellowstone, we actually fly to the west of West Yellowstone. for the most part.
Helicopter tours like Yellowstone Heli don't fly directly over Yellowstone, but now they won't be able to do so at Badlands National Park or Mount Rushmore either. It's a huge loss for Mark Slaffley, who owns Yellowstone Heli and 4 other helicopter tour companies.
They're basically taking away 9,000 flights from me. They're taking me from over 5,000 at Mount Rushmore and 4,000 at the Badlands, and they're taking every last one of them away.
Slaffley now must conduct all his air tours beyond 1/2 mile from the park boundaries or 5,000 feet above ground level when over the park.
For Badlands, we believe it's going to put us out of business, right? And that represents a $2.5 million piece of what we're trying to create.
But others say it's a necessary and long overdue move to bring down noise levels and also protect the park's natural and cultural resources.
When an aircraft goes over, especially at low elevation, it ruins the entire experience. And they will complain about that.
Shanna Barron is a naturalist and guide with Yellowstone Insight based out of Gardner. She's seen firsthand the impact helicopters can have.
When they do come through, it's incredibly noticeable. And we definitely see the animals react to that. I've also personally witnessed helicopters coming through this area, trying to, kind of peek into Yellowstone a little bit. And they do these kind of area tours. Where whole herds of elk, I'm talking hundreds of elk, will start running and panicking.
One reason some parks like Glacier began the process of phasing out commercial flights last year. But Slaffley worries what it will mean, now planning for a certain future for his company and others.
We're not victims. We're going to work hard and figure out a way to get past it.
In Billings, Alina Howder, MTN News.
Fish, Wildlife and Parks says it's been 25 years since there have been major updates to the administrative rules for Montana's block management program. And they say now is a good time to go through and see what's outdated and what can be improved.
The block management program is our biggest access program. Yeah, I mean, in general, we are happy. That doesn't mean we can't take the opportunity to make sure that, everything is running as efficiently as it can be.
Through block management, property owners can get payments from the state for opening their land to hunters. FWP says 1,400 landowners across the state are currently participating. Leaders say this rule revision is part of the Gianforte administration's Red Tape Relief Initiative. It includes a lot of language removed from the rules and moved into either department policies or the specific contracts with landowners.
In the long run, that's going to provide some clarity for landowners that we partner with, and also give us some flexibility to be able to adjust some of the policy needs if we need to in the future.
Division Administrator Greg Lemon says one area they can use flexibility is in the start and end of the open season.
Over the course of the last couple of decades, the opportunities for turkey hunting in Montana have expanded quite a bit. And so, our block management program has had to adjust, where in the past that wasn't really an opportunity, that wasn't part of our season structure for block management contracts. Now it is.
The proposed changes also lay out the process for how a landowner can temporarily close a block management area for things like agricultural activities or safety concerns.
Last year, we had quite a few block management areas where landowners didn't want to open up when the hunting season started because of fire danger in particular. And so, we want to be a really good partner with landowners. So the purpose of the program is to really help landowners and help hunters.
FWP's public hearing, which is intended only to take public comment on the proposed rule changes, will be held over Zoom at 1 p.m. on Friday. You can also submit written comment through 5 p.m. on Monday, December 4th. You can find more information on our website. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
We're really invested in how do we ensure everyone can have access to the natural resources.
Thanks to more than $30,000 in grant funding through the Flathead Resource Advisory Committee, the Flathead River will soon see major accessibility improvements at 12 different river access points.
We don't see why there should be any barriers for everyone to be able to go out, not only with themselves, but for their family and friends to join them as well.
The Flathead Rivers Alliance is a nonprofit focused on accessibility and preservation of the Flathead River. Executive Director Sheena Pate says upgrades at river access points are long overdue.
Getting out on the river or talking to raft companies and them saying, hey, we have clients calling us, they need certain adaptive equipment to get into the raft or the drift boat. but we have issues with the access sites because they can't even get into the bathrooms. So just like very simple things that not everyone thinks about.
Changes include making bathrooms handicap accessible, constructing ramps, slides, and trails, providing direct access to the river.
And how are they getting from point A to point B so that we can get them into those drift boats and those rafts.
Dream Adaptive Recreation is a nonprofit that works closely with individuals with disabilities in Northwest Montana to make outdoor activities more accessible. Executive Director Julie Tickle says providing easier access to the Flathead River is a great step in the right direction.
When we make places accessible, it really helps the broader community have greater access. You know, the concept of universal design, building things and creating spaces that have the broadest user group in mind. So families, the elderly, you know, what we're working on, the projects that we're working on will impact many people.
Pate says the hope is to have construction start on some projects as early as this summer, with public workshops planned in the coming months to hear directly from the community.
So in person, looking at the designs that have been proposed to us, coming up with different maybe adaptations, what do you think would be best?
Tickle says greater access gives individuals living with disabilities more confidence and helps them feel more involved in their community.
Which really serves as a springboard for their entire life. If they can get out here to the river and fish and float with their family or friends, what else can they do? What else can they strive for? So I really think that projects like this really impact lives. It's so much broader than getting on the river.
In West Glacier, Sean Wells, MTN News.
The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has announced that wolverines in the lower 48 are now federally protected as a threatened species under the Endangered Species Act. Killing wolverines in Montana is already prohibited under both federal and state law and can result in criminal and civil penalties. The new protections require U.S. Fish and Wildlife to prepare a wolverine recovery plan, identify critical habitats for protection, and look at the possibility of the reintroduction in certain areas. Wolverines were historically found across the Rockies, ranging from Montana, Washington, down to the Rockies in New Mexico and the Sierra Nevadas in Southern California. Presently, only around 300 wolverines exist in Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Washington, and Northern Oregon.
Well, that just about wraps up this week's MTN Outdoors. I hope you enjoyed getting an inside look at some of the most recent outdoor happenings. If you happen to have an outdoor-related story idea, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at tom.buchanan@ktvh.com. Until then, take care, and don't forget to try and get outside in this beautiful state we're lucky enough to call home. Oh, and don't forget to keep your tips up.